Hello there. Today I have mini Lego Transformers animated Swindle, and let me just tell you right now, color-wise, he isn't the best. Um, in his vehicle mode, there isn't a lot of purple, but as you can see, um, I ran out of these pieces that are like these like dark tan, because I have a very limited supply of them. Especially as you can see right here, this should be dark tan, but it's the yellow piece. Uh, Yeah, just this guy really suffers from a lack of color accuracy because of that problem. But I wasn't gonna use like yellow everywhere because it was gonna look ugly, and it already needed a lot more purple, so I just gave it purple. Uh, yeah, I think I did a pretty good job. It doesn't look the worst. Uh, he also has his cannon, which is obviously removable. It's Lego, so obviously it's removable. Um, and there's another issue. Ran out of pieces once again, so instead of being a 1x2, these are like individual studs. So yeah. But, in the show, he does deploy the cannon, which by the way is his only accessory. I couldn't fit anything else onto this build. In the show, he does deploy like this in his debut episode SUV to shoot at the Autobots or the cops or whatever. I don't remember, but I remember he did something like this, which is kind of useful for the robot mode. So let's get to the robot mode after we look at size comparisons. Bumblebee dies a lot, but he will return very soon, I assure you. And here's Swindle next to all this other stuff. Alright, so for transformation, we're gonna swivel these back sections out, and this is already inaccurate to the design and figure, but the real design and figure couldn't work for this scale, so this is the route I had to take, and it results in some nasty kibble. Then we just fold this entire section down, and hopefully it doesn't break. It's like the most fragile part of this build, his legs. And then for the final two steps, swivel this entire section around so Swindle looks more slick. I was just trying to see if he could stand without folding this up, which is the final step. Yeah, okay. Let's fold the leg back down. And that's the backpack. It kind of has a bulkhead, prime bulkhead wheel style stuff, but it's pretty ugly. But if you ignore it, here you have a pretty good, pretty cool Lego, mini Lego Transformers animated Swindle. Yeah. So let's just take a spin around, and obviously without this entire back section, he would look pretty cool. But sadly, he needs that entire back section for vehicle mode. So, yeah. I guess I imagined as is like sort of like a arms dealer backpack, but he already has the stomach section in the show, which doesn't open on this build, obviously because of scale. But yeah, I actually don't think it's too bad. Uh, it gives the build, what do you say? Let's just move on. Uh, so let's look at the articulation. The shoulders are obviously on a ball joint, so they're obviously ball joint shoulders and no elbows. You can't really swivel his head unless you move the backpack, which sucks. Swivel the arms out. You could say he has a waist swivel because of I accidentally pulled this off, but might as well show it. It's connected like this, so I guess it could swivel back and forth, but no. It can kick forward about that far, and hey, look, it actually works pretty well for the front of the vehicle, but there's obviously a giant ugly gap, and I'm happy with how it transforms anyway. Yeah, they just swivel, not back actually. And he has, yeah, just a 90-degree bend at the knee. Yeah, not a lot of articulation to be had, but it's good enough. The cannon is also obviously removable, so here's what he looks like without it. And then while we're looking at him without the cannon, let's say some upsides that the actual deluxe figure doesn't have. This doesn't have any clear plastic. That's all I can think of. So, yeah, Swindle. Hooray! Uh, Honestly, to give you my honest opinion, I don't think it's bad. It's just I'm not happy with the backpack. Obviously, it's just the backpack, but can't change that with Lego, so I'm content with it. Here he is next to all this other stuff once again. I guess today's episode is ending off short, so yeah, I got a few things to say. Um, One, you might have noticed in my comparisons, I usually put the main figure of the video next to like the characters it has most connections with, like how I'm putting Bulkhead next to Scrapper and Optimus right now. Well, you might be wondering why Ultra Magnus is next to Swindle, even though they've never met. I just like to imagine that Ultra Magnus's design used to be like an Onslaught design, because just look at the way his arms transform and the shoulders over his cannons. I'm just gonna roll with that. I'm not gonna cut that out. I never cut anything out. I'm just gonna leave that in there. These two are roughly the same size in vehicle mode, but Ratchet's a little bit shorter, unless you count his crest. And I just realized I forgot the stud thingy, the stud ruler. Let me go do that real quick. Swindle in robot mode is maybe 6.5 studs tall, about 7 studs long, maybe 7.5 studs long in vehicle mode. Basically 4 studs wide, but realistically 2 studs wide. 4.5 studs tall with the cannon, and about 3 studs tall without the cannon. I got two more things to say. I think I've already said this before, but that piece on the end of his cannon, it's a boombox piece. You might notice it's the only piece like that I have with that printed piece or printed boombox on it. So that's what I had to use. And Megatron is slowly devolving into his season 1 state. He's like slowly being taken apart. And there's Scrapper with his knees. I'm also not rebuilding Starscream as the Seekers, but I will be rebuilding Bumblebee as Stinger and Cliffjumper because they are technically different characters. I don't make the rules, but I do now.